Hello, beautiful souls. It is so important to be comfortable in your own skin, but for over a decade, I wasn't. I was very insecure about my body, and making this video brought back a lot of those old uncomfortable feelings. But I kept filming. Hashtag I love yoga. Enjoy. So far in my practice, I basically practice doing sun salutations, and all sun salutations start with mountain pose, which is what I'm doing here. Basically, you're just standing facing forward with your shoulders relaxed, abdomen tucked in, butt kind of tucked under a little bit, making sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground. I'm focusing on my breathing at this point. If you watch my stomach, I'm making sure that it's rising on my inhale, and on my exhale that it's kind of falling back in, which is the natural way that we breathe. What you're about to see may look simple, but it's not easy. Please take your time and only do what you can do. When you're ready, we're going to take a deep breath in, lifting your arms high above your head, and then bending all the way down and forward into the position known as forward fold. The Sanskrit name for this position is Uttanasana. It is a great stretch for your hamstrings. My hammies are usually really tight when I start in the morning, so I like to bend my knees a little to make it a little bit easier. Then we're going to go into half lift, which is lifting up just halfway, trying to keep a nice flat back, and back down into forward fold. When I'm ready, I'm going to step my right foot back, getting ready to go into warrior one position or Virabhadasana 1. This stretch is great for your legs, it's good for your butt, good for strengthening your back, your arms, your neck, your shoulders, and opening up your chest. This is Warrior 2 or Virabhadasana 2. And I'm focusing on keeping my hips facing forward, keeping a nice deep bend in my knee. And then I'm going to take my left foot back to meet my right foot to go into plank position or Kumbhakasana. From Kumbhakasana, I'm going to go into Chaturanga Dandasana, which is basically like a half push-up where you lower yourself down and then peel your shoulders back into
Bhujangasana or baby cobra pose is considered a heart opener as it invigorates the heart by opening up the chest.
Are difficult.
From there, I'm going to use my arms to push up
I'm going to go back into downward dog.
So downward dog or
with my hips pointing up and back
is a great stretch for your hamstrings.
This is a great stretch for your spine.
It's also a good
for
shoulder and calf stretch as well as a stretch for the arches of your feet.
It's also very comfortable to kind of walk this out a little bit so that you're not overstretching your hamstrings. Again, mine are usually pretty tight.
I'm going to bend my knees, look forward,
then I'm going to walk
slowly
myself
step my
back
feet
up,
forward,
placing my feet in between my hands,
into forward fold
or Uttanasana for a moment.
Slowly bringing myself up,
rising
back to mountain pose,
up,
hands over my head to go back to beginning position,
and bring myself back down to prayer position.
And that is basically one full sun salutation. So we're going to start again. And every time I go into the new sun salutation, I try to go a little bit faster, making sure I'm controlling my inhalations and exhalations. So starting in Uttasana, forward fold. I'm going to take a few deep breaths. Lift up into half fold. And then when I'm ready, on my exhale, I'm going to step my left foot back into Warrior 1 or Virabhadasana. Keeping my hips facing forward, legs firm. I stretch my arms out to go back into Warrior 2. It's important to keep your tummy as tucked as possible. As you can see, mine is kind of definitely losing control here. But keep your tummy tucked in as you then go down into your plank position or Kumbhakasana, lowering down to Chaturanga Dandasana, putting your feet firmly planted on the floor, and then using your hands lightly to push up into baby cobra pose. You're going to find it difficult to take a deep breath in baby cobra, but that's okay. Just find your breath. It is there. And gently relax into cobra pose. Curling your toes under, you're going to use your hands to push up and back, lifting your hips up into the air for downward dog. And enters my dog, Kino, in the background. Say hi, Kino. Again, I'm just walking out my downward dog because my hamstrings are still kind of tight, making sure my hips are pointing up and back, And then I'm going to take my steps up, placing my feet in between my hands into forward fold or Uttasana. Just getting kind of wiggly here, loosening up my spine, slowly standing up, bringing my hands together and back down into prayer position. I had to run over to the camera to make sure we were still recording, and then I definitely had to kick Kino out because he likes to get rowdy and I was trying to focus. See ya. Bye, Kino. If you're just starting your yoga practice, be very kind to yourself. A lot of these positions may look simple and easy, and they are in fact simple and easy, but they also have a level of difficulty to them. And depending on your level of flexibility when you start your practice, you may not be able to get all the way into a forward fold or get your hands all the way to the ground. That is okay. Practice anyway. Your body is going to strengthen and it's going to become more flexible. That's just kind of the way the body works. So stay with it. So here we are doing a half lift. You're keeping your back as flat as possible, planting your hands firmly on the ground, stepping back into plank position. Adding some variation, I lower down into my awkward version of chaturanga into upward dog. Again, stretching my abdomen, my legs, my arms. And then from upward dog, you can push right into downward dog by just curling your toes under and using your shoulder muscles. Again, my practice is about taking my time, and I encourage you to do the same with yourself. Just take your time and do what you can. I'm raising up here now into three-legged dog, starting with my right leg. And then I'm going to do some knee to elbow movements. This is good for balance, and this is a great workout for your abdomen, your obliques especially. And I usually do that about 3 times per leg. So I'm going to switch to my three-legged dog for my left leg, making sure I'm stable on all surfaces, trying to get my leg up as straight as possible, keeping my hips forward. And then I'm going to do 3 knee to elbow touches on my left side, focusing on really steadying my movement and keeping the movement as controlled as possible until I complete all 3 and go back into downward dog. I'm then going to walk myself back up to starting position, feet between my hands, into Uttasana, taking some time to catch my breath because at this time I'm pretty winded. And I'm just going to give myself a little hug. Then raise right on up, arms over my head, taking a nice deep inhale and back into starting prayer position. Another completed sun salutation. At this point, I'm going to repeat the entire routine, focusing on speeding up my movements, taking shorter breaks in between, and adding in some tougher variations. So let's speed it up until we get to the next interesting part. Stopping here, we have Dhanurasana or bow pose. With this pose, you want to make sure you're keeping your knees tucked in towards each other nice and tight. And something important to remember is when you're releasing bow pose, to do so very slowly. Don't slingshot your legs down to the ground. Take time to make sure your spine is stabilized, and then you can go back up into your downward dog. Starting back over with my three-legged dog and then going into my knee to elbow touches. At this point, I'm not going to hold you guys. I was very tired. It takes a lot of upper body strength to complete these knee to elbow touches, but I'll go ahead and I complete three more on the right side. Really trying to thug it out for you guys. I'm not sure if you saw that little donkey kick I did just now with my right leg, but I'm tired. On the left side, leg straight up, nice and strong, 3 times, and I'm going a lot faster here just to go ahead and get these kind of done. Definitely lost my abdomen a little bit there. Forgot to kind of hold it tight, but that's okay because these videos are meant to help me see what I'm doing and to help you guys as well. From my touches, I'm going into dolphin pose. As you can see, I'm very, very tired at this point, kind of caving in a little bit. And then another one of my favorite positions, child's pose. Just kind of here to relax, hang out, and catch your breath. Child's pose or balasana is great for helping you to restore your breath, get your breathing back kind of centered and rested, and it's a good stretch for your spine, neck, and shoulders. I'm not sure what the exact name of this pose is, but it is a yoga pose, and it's definitely stretching, I believe, opening up your hips and your shoulders. And I looked up the name, but I could not remember. Help me out, guys. What is the name of this position? Either way, I'm using the arm that I'm laying on dominantly to stretch out to the opposing side. So here I'm resting on my right shoulder, reaching my right shoulder over to my left side, and my hand is planted palm down on the floor. From here, I'm going to go into some cat-cow movements. So cow is when you are kind of pushing your back down and curving out your spine looking up. And then going into cat, you just go into the opposite position by raising kind of up in through your chest and looking down. So cow, and then into cat. I wiggle a little bit here, just doing whatever feels good. Into cat pose, getting a nice stretch along my spine. And again, just taking time to catch my breath because your boo is tired. Back into downward dog. I lower my knees and walk back up to starting position. From here, I'm going to take a few moments to hug it out again. Now feeling a lot looser in my hamstrings, thank God. Just getting some more stretch there on my forward fold or Uttanasana. And from here, I'm going to go into chair pose or Utkatasana. Chair pose is definitely a thigh burner. You're going to feel a lot of burning here in your thighs, but take your time and work on controlling your legs to keep your knees tucked in together. From chair pose, I'm going to twist my body to the right, tucking my left elbow onto the outside of my right knee, and then standing back up into prayer position. I am pooped. So from here, I'm basically ending my practice. I'm going to do another lift over my head and Uttanasana. I hope I'm saying that right. Forward fold into a half lift and then into chair pose. Again, burning thighs, just burning all that fat off of those thighs. Trying to keep my abdomen tight, keeping those arms as high above your head as possible. Adding my twist on the left side, so my right elbow is touching the outside of my left knee. Holding, holding, holding. Back down to Uttanasana and up, and I'm done. And that's it. So I'm going to run over to check, make sure that we're still recording. And then I come back down to my mat to do my final positions. I talk a little bit here, but I don't think I'm saying anything important. Just talking about how much I love yoga, blah, 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 blah. And then I get into Ardha Matsyendrasana, or Half Lord of the Fishes. Don't ask me why it's called this, but this is a great stretch for your internal organs. Any stretch that kind of wrings out or twists your abdomen is really good for your digestive health. So I go into this pose and I hold a mudra, remembering to keep my spine as straight as possible, breathing in deep and relaxing. Then spinning around to give you guys just a view of what this position looks like from the side. I'm keeping my left foot tucked firmly under my buttocks, and again, left elbow on the outside of my right knee, and just holding the stretch using a mudra to assist with the circulation of my energies. And if any of these words sound unfamiliar to you, as they did to me when I first started learning yoga, I encourage you to do what I did. Jump on Google, jump on some more YouTube channels, and look this stuff up. Don't take my word for it. Yoga has 1,000,001 benefits, but the more you know about what you're doing before you start practicing, the more comfortable you can get with your practice and with why you're doing it for yourself. Yoga has mood benefits. It has been proven to cure things such as depression, bipolar, anxiety,
It has health benefits, improving your digestion, curing indigestion, and other internal sort of imbalances that we may have. So the number of benefits you can get from doing yoga are really and truly kind of endless. So jump into a practice, get started, go to a studio, and start bringing out your organs, folks. But no, really, practicing yoga is part of the set of habits that changed my life and that helped me to cure my own depression and deal with my own pseudo diagnosis of bipolar. And it's actually something that when I was going to see a doctor and a therapist, they recommended that I do all the time to help me to get over my bipolar disorder. And I didn't understand the connection because I felt like if there was a chemical imbalance, there must be some sort of medicine that I needed to take. But in doing these positions and holding these poses, you can release chemicals that you were previously imbalanced in having, or you can allow them to flow more freely in your body so that you don't need medication to have that sensation of happiness and peace and serenity. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my almost 1,500 subscribers. We are officially in the building and doing big things. Please stay tuned to my channel for more encouraging videos on inner engineering, my journey with yoga, and basically the best life advice you could ever get anywhere. Just kidding. But no, seriously, with all sincerity and with my whole heart, I thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I will see you soon.